Yo, what's up with y'all boys and girls, man? Hey, it's Jay Briggs here, continuing to cook up this NBA action, man. Y'all know we do. We're on the jam session. We cook up every single game, every single day, man. Yesterday, we did cash our NBA Player of the Day. Shout out to Boston Celtics, man. I thought there would be real emphasis on Game 2 for the Celtics after dropping Game 2 against Miami in the first round and Game 2 to Cleveland in the second round, man. Jaylen Brown, huge game with the 40 burger. Shout out to Celtics, man. We'll see if Indiana will respond in Indiana, where they haven't lost a game yet this postseason. They've low-key gone stupid, dummy, crazy in Indiana thus far this postseason. We'll see if they can make it a series and respond in Game 3. Today, we got Game 2 of my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks. They're out on the road facing the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mavs looking to take a commanding 2-0 series lead back home. T-Wolves trying to tie it up, send it 1-1 on the road. I'm going to break down in a second exactly how I see this game shaping out. I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls that continue to tune in and watch this video. If you appreciate the content that I do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. You subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money making Friday, man, my favorite day of the week. Let's keep the momentum rolling forward. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. Let's smash it per usual. Without further ado, man, let's hop right into tonight's NBA action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get her done. We got my favorite team, the Dallas Mavericks, out on the road facing the Minnesota Timberwolves, a.k.a. the House of Disappointment, man. Look, the reason I call the Minnesota Timberwolves the House of Disappointment is because usually when they're expected to do something, they almost never do it. They almost never do it. Look, I do expect the Minnesota Timberwolves to throw their best punch here in this game too. They almost have to. They cannot afford to go down 0-2 heading back to Dallas, man. This is a must-win game for Minnesota. The younger team, the team lacking the experience, they cannot afford to go down 0-2 heading back to Dallas. So I think this may be the Timberwolves' best game in the entire series, and I would not be surprised at all if they won this basketball game today because they almost have to. With that being said, though, when I really just sit back and look at these two teams, I go back and I watch Game 1. I've watched it now like 3 times. There's really no way I get to Minnesota winning the game by 5.5. I just can't get there. Remember, the Mavs are the best road ATS team in the NBA. Let me reference this. I would not be surprised at all if the Minnesota Timberwolves won this basketball game today. But I can't get there laying the 5.5 with them. When they're expected to do something, they never do it. They're the House of Disappointment. The Mavs, as a real Mavs fan, as somebody who's watched almost every single game they've played this season, I thought that Game 1, they really didn't play well at all. Outside of Luka, Kyrie, the role players did not play well at all. Lively played well, but outside of that, everybody else was kind of just there. PJ was not good from 3. Derrick Jones Jr. really wasn't hitting his jumper. Josh Green really wasn't hitting his jumper. Tim Hardaway Jr. didn't even take a shot. You feel me? I feel like Luka, Kyrie showed up, did their thing, but I also feel like I can expect the role players for the Mavs to be who they've been the entire postseason. I think they're going to step up much better here in this game too. Again, I'm going to say this one more time, like I said in the first video. I think the Mavs have the 2 best players in the series. Luka Doncic is by far the best player in the series. I know y'all love Ant. Ant's not in the same stratosphere as Luka. He's just not. And then I'm sorry, I forgot Anthony Edwards surpassed Kyrie Irving. I wasn't there when that happened. I still believe Kyrie Irving is the better player. Anthony Edwards is an ascending star. I love the player he's becoming, but there's levels to this shit. And you have to learn how to win in this league. Karl Anthony Towns, I think he gets his in this one. I think Luka continues to attack Rudy Gobert in that drop coverage. I think there's nobody better in the NBA at attacking that drop coverage. Luka can finish with the best of them in the league. He also has one of the softest touches in the league, and he also just so happens to be one of the best passers in the league. So it puts Rudy Gobert in a really, really, really tough spot. No matter how Rudy plays it, Luka can and will 9 times out of 10 make the right play out of it. Kyrie, I think, continues to be aggressive, attacking Anthony Edwards. We saw Anthony Edwards gassed at the end of game one because not only does he have to lead in scoring, he has to guard one of the best all-time guards in the NBA's history in Kyrie Irving the entire game. We'll see if Minnesota makes any adjustments in the series to try to get Anthony Edwards off of Kyrie, to try to get him to be more aggressive on the offensive end and not expend as much energy on the defensive end. Ultimately, man, look, I think the Mavs are the better team in the series. I think the Mavs win this series, but I think the Timberwolves come out and try to give it their best effort here in game two because they cannot afford to go down 0-2 heading back to Dallas. But even with that best punch, I don't know if that is enough for a cover. The Mavs, man, I think play better here in game two as well. I think the Mavs plus the points is really the best place to be in this game. Of course, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on my Mavs just because I think they do have a legitimate chance to win this game outright. But I think the best place to be in this game is Dallas plus the 5.5. Player props. Y'all be asking me about player props. I think Kyrie continues to be aggressive. I like his overs. Luka, best player in the series. I like his overs. I think Anthony Edwards has a much better game, too, than he did in game one. What did he have? 19 points in game one. I think he probably has something on like 26, 27-ish here in this one. I think Kyle Anderson probably gets more tick here in this game. I would probably try to look at some of his overs. I don't think Jaden McDaniels turns into Klay Thompson again this game. I might look at his unders. That's a couple of props. I'm not really too big on the props. Total. I like the over. I took the under game one. And I feel like both teams offensively really didn't play that well, and we still got up and over that total. I like the over here in this one as well. I think we get up and over this number again. So, yeah. I'm on my Mavs plus the 5.5. I think that's the best play here in the basketball game. Would not be surprised if Minnesota won it because they cannot afford to go down 0-2 heading back to Dallas. But I still don't think, even if they win the game, I just don't see them covering. I see this as a tight, competitive game all the way throughout. I think the Mavs have a legitimate shot to win it outright. But I think the best place to be is Dallas plus the 5.5 in your back pocket. Small lean on the over. And that's what I got for y'all, ladies and gentlemen. And that's going to conclude this episode of my NBA Jam session. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you boys and girls that continue to tune in and watch this video. If you appreciate the content that I do, all I ask is that you smash that like button for me. If you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as I always say, man, if you're rocking with me, rock with me. I'm active on Instagram and Twitter all day long. There's a link for that in the description below. And, of course, I have premium plays over at the site. Money making Friday, man, my favorite day of the week. Let's continue to kick the crap out of the books. Let's smash it per usual, man. It's been your guy, Jay Briggs. I'm out of here.